Okay, so I'm back, and again, this should be the final one. Like, I'm literally on the last deck. Really wasn't expecting it to take this long. Also wasn't expecting to do it on here, but I'm able to adjust and I'm able to make sure that I'm still able to do what I need to do. Okay. So last thing we ended on was the horse. Okay. Which leads us to our next one. We literally only got one earth animal spirit, which is the horse, which is again, do not lose momentum, do not lose faith in you. If you're on the next one, if we're watching in order, it will be Swan. Okay, which is a water energy. We actually have 3 water energy cards and 3 fire cards. And if you remember from the I Ching deck, we literally got above water, below fire to make sure that we are having that equal balance of self and of understanding to make sure that we are not so overwhelmed with taking on feelings or what we're used to the point where we're not even allowing ourselves to ignite that flame, but also not being so fired up to the point where we dismiss why we started in the first place and we just blow over and then we wind up putting the flame out in the first place. Okay. So we have Swan, which is effortless creativity, sensitivity, mystic, and elegant power. Again, we're able to create, we're able to connect, we're able to have all of these things for us and with us. Okay. It says the swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess, excuse me if I mispronounce this, Saraswata, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted. Again, have we not been giving ourselves credit? Have we not been giving ourselves that understanding and that grace of realizing what we need to do? You know, it's, bless me, it is effortless for us to have that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly when the swan card appears. Your soul is calling for attention again. They are crying out. They cannot live with the lies. They cannot live with the neglect. They cannot live with doing the same thing over and over again. They cannot live with trying to help other people at the detriment of self. We are looking to attract like-minded people with an intellect that goes past just book smart. Like it said, it goes deeper into understanding you and understanding what it is and what's happening, what's going forward. So again, you need to realize that you need to have the momentum of the horse, that energy that cannot be destroyed, and match it with the effortless creativity, match it with being sensitive, like the empathetic card, but not taking on all this emotion, allowing yourself to revel in in that power and give yourself the credit for what you give out. If you have a cat, you understand. If you don't, I apologize, but that is just cats. Okay. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time, an inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. Again, that silent retreat, allowing yourself to kind of sit and acknowledge what's going on, why it's happening, and redirecting that focus to the truth. Okay, your inner self, and guiding yourself in that path. Okay, it says when in balance, you have infinite creative power. Like when I say you do the offering, you're going to have this infinite source of understanding and wisdom and what happened and where to guide yourself. It's infinite. It's just ready to be tapped into. Okay? So do not lose hope. When you are out of balance, you are agitated, you are snippy, and you are lacking vision. Okay? You are agitated to the point where you don't move, you just get so fired up. Like I said, you boil over. Everything pours out, or you get so snippy, you're coming at people that you talk too much, you say too much, you do too much without actually listening to what or why you're saying, and your tongue is not tamed. Okay, or you're just lacking vision. You don't have the momentum, you're not moving, you're just allowing yourself to stay in the same place and in those same cycles. When you want to bring it back into balance with the swan energy, you want to have some solo time. Not like the lonely where you're trying to protect yourself. Solo time to, again, strategy is needed for action is taken, to plan, to set out, okay? And then writing. Start writing it out. Start journaling. If you don't really like to write, start recording yourself. If you don't really like to record, start drawing what you're feeling. If you don't really like to draw, you just need to get that out. You need to start talking to yourself, maybe. Just allow yourself to get everything out so that way you're not holding it in and you're able to have that clear access of direction. Okay? It literally says it effortlessly creative, right? That means you do it with just a flow of who you are. Okay, I should have went in order because I think turtle was before that. We're gonna do octopus. Yeah, definitely should have did octopus first, and that was my fault. So we're gonna do octopus, which is reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships, okay? Because again, you're putting the right energy in the wrong spot. The right mindset of being empathetic in the wrong spot by taking it on. Okay? And you are speaking the truth or you're hiding it. What are you doing? Okay? You are reaching, you are yearning, you become possessive and needy. Relax. It says the octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraints. Again, tame that tongue. Tame that tongue. Okay? They believe that that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. Or I say, we're not going to do the same thing. We're not going to do the same functions. We're going to make sure that, again, what am I tolerating and what am I setting up to tolerate, to push out there, to have. Okay? Says when you are in balance, you are interested, you are engaged, and you are intelligent. That intellect, you are engaged in the conversation, you're engaged in the community, and they're engaged in you. You are interested in what you are creating and cultivating because you are your own medicine, you are your own healing. You are able to have that intergalactic mastery where you're able to understand these things, but you want to know more. You're ready for it. However, when you're out of balance of the octopus energy, you are needy, you are clingy, and you lack courage. It literally said discouraged. You are lacking the strength and the trusting and the intuition of being confident in self and acknowledging that and what you can create. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You're not trusting in yourself, so you're becoming uncomfortable. You are doing the same thing because you can't commit to yourself to actually set out new tasks and new foundations. Or you're just not committing to yourself enough to set boundaries to be like, no, I can't take on this right now. Okay? So it's to bring back into balance. You want space with oneself. Like I said, go into that solo time and talk there. Like I said, if you don't want to write it out, talk it out. But it needs to come out. You cannot hold that in. You don't want to do that. Okay? You want to make sure that you're not holding all of that in. Ooh. The next one is turtle, and that is ancient soul, grounded, trusting, and at home with self. Again, I should have read the swan last. That is my apologies, but we're still going to continue on. So, it is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travel leads them. Even with the horses, say, no matter the rough terrain, you're going to get there. It's going to happen. But again, that truth, that inner truth is what you can stand on, is where you can be grounded in, is where you have that solid foundation of growth and cultivation. It's the truth. It's tangible. You can hold on to, you can go back to it, you can reference it, you can learn from it. It's the truth. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. Again, drop the facade, transformative endings, something new that has never been done before. You're not going to be doing stuff just for other people. You're going to be doing it for you and for the deeper understanding, okay? To go and live your life experiences how you truly want to. It says when you are in balance, you are peaceful, you are adventurous, and you are productive. Okay? You actually take action. You actually start doing things. You actually start putting it out there. You are at peace everywhere. Bless me, you are at peace everywhere you go, and everything that you do, you are at peace. You understand your inner self, but you are still adventurous. Like I said, cautious optimism. You are still able to go out there and be with your community, be with other people, put out your energy, put out your good graces. You have an open heart. You're ready to receive in love of the world that you are currently creating. Okay? When you are out of balance, you slow down to a halt. Like I said, you just stop. You don't move. You are discouraged. You feel lonely. So you go off into self-isolation, not self-reflection, not self-accountability, not self-inner understanding, self-isolation, where you're just over there not doing anything, just sitting and stewing. Okay? So to bring back into balance and adventure. Just go out there and do something that speaks to your spirit, that speaks to your inner child, that allows you to just revel in the emotional truth of everything. Because that's it. That's how you lead yourself. That's how you gain that experience. So now we're on to the fire, which is the next one is lizard. I don't think I've been showing the cards, this is the octopus. This is the turtle. And this is the swan. Okay. Like I said, I'm really not used to doing it on here, so I'm not used to showing the cards. But this is the lizard, which is fire. So we're starting with our fire. We just did our water. Our fire. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and a dreamer. Okay. It says the lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. Where is that awareness? Where is that accepting of what's going on in your surroundings and not denying it, okay? As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. That's why you want to, again, plan before you start doing things, because that is a part of manifesting. You're able to think it, now you're able to, like, I'm thinking I want somebody that's intellectual, that's going to accept me, that I have a community that I can go to, I can share my resources and get resources. This is what I want. And then you start planning out what you're going to do to get that, or what you can do to start working on that. And then that is an action of what you can start actually incorporating in your life. Okay. And you're able to see it and you're able to get it. That's where that communication comes in, because they're able to go on that side and you're able to go on this side. That's where it comes to the intergalactic mastery, that creation, that connection, that higher self. Okay. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. Again, don't be around situations where you always have to be protective. Toleration is different from protection. Like I said, you can go to work and tolerate people. Sometimes you have to go to work and protect yourself. But when you're trying to be in a protective environment, that means something is coming at you that isn't working with you, or it isn't working with each other. And now you're combative, you're defensive, or you're shrinking yourself. There's certain things where you're not able to be reflectively vulnerable of your inner world that you are creating. Okay? This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights in big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. Again, we don't want to worry about what looks on the outside, because if we start seeking outward things, if it doesn't go the way that we want to, we start getting possessive. When we start getting needy, we start feeling like we can't trust in ourselves and all of these things. We don't want to always be like, oh, it looks this way, so it has to be. And Duran fruit looks gorgeous. Like gorgeous, and apparently it stinks and it doesn't taste good. So just because it looks good and it looks like something that may be appeasing, is it appeasing to what you're creating, what you're speaking, and what you're doing on the inside? Is it actually even a true reflection of you? Okay, that feels good. That's a whew. When in balance, you are artistic, you are telepathic, and you are spiritual. Like I said, you're able to see things, you're able to understand things, you're able to trust in yourself. You have that inner guidance, okay? You are able to create your own medicine, your own healing, your own world, your own environment, and give that to others. You are able to, again, be spiritually connected, have that grounding, be empathetic without taking it on. You're not losing yourself. You're creating a different level of where you're able to achieve that highest self, that higher understanding of, okay, this is where I am, but this is where I'm going. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm loving that. And I'm listening to that. When you are not, when you are not in balance, you are elusive, you are non-committal, and you are flaky. Again, you're not somebody that somebody's going to want to go to. They're not going to want to trust. They're not going to want to tell anything. They're just like, because you either just get standoffish to the point, like I said, you're trying to protect yourself, but from what? You just start going away. You start lying. You start evading questions, being elusive, being secretive. What are you doing all that for? Okay, you're not committing to anything. You're not committing to yourself, your new desires of what you want to do, what you want to speak, what you want to have. You're not committing to that new routine regimen, a new lifestyle, anything. You are not committing. And if you're not committing to yourself and you're flaking on yourself, you're going to start flaking on others. And that's going to be a reflection of the environment that you create and cultivate. Because that's what you are giving. That's what you're willing to accept as well. You start building a tolerance for that. And your body been telling you, like, hey, we need some new deodorant. Like, it ain't working. Like, we need some new laundry detergent. Because, like, your body, even your physical body, starts to become immune to the things that you have been putting inside of it. Some people literally start getting sick of eating the same thing. Like, they get alert. It's like, because their body becomes immune to it. It's not feeding them in the way that it used to anymore when they're growing and they're developing. Okay? Which leads to the next one, which is camel. Look at that. Resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. I don't even need to explain that. The camel can handle absolutely anything. What did I say? We are strong, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. What are you feeding yourself? What are you taking in? What is that transformational energetic flow? Okay. Ooh, that feels good. The wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Look at that graceful creativity, the intellect. You're able to do it on any terrain of any problem, okay? Even in the face of excess heat, which is judgment or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. And it didn't say put out the fire. It said to calm the situation, and when you're at calm, you're at peace, you have this clear direction of where you're going, okay? Oh, the camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water. What it said, the chi. We have the chi, which is your chi. That's funny if you watch Naruto or, other shows. Your chi, your inner balance, that inner understanding. That is what it is, that balance. That's what we're looking for. We literally got 3 of each card. We don't want to be too hot. We don't want to be too liquidy. We want that balance to work together so we can cook that pasta or that rice or whatever, okay? Opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. Again, that accountability, that understanding, that reflection, not deflection, not lying, not hiding, not changing in a way. No, you have to recognize that I control myself and I only control me, which in return realizes I can't control anyone else. So why am I possessive? They have their own mind, they have their own thoughts, they have their own actions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. Again, being adventurous, going out there, speaking your mind, being creative, finding that community that is for you in alignment with that, okay? So bring it to balance is a pilgrimage, which is just traveling. I had to look that up because I was like, pilgrims, what the fuck? But it's just traveling and exploring and seeing something new and gathering information from it, okay? That's it. So the next one that we have, and the last one that we have for the fire is Cobra. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher, okay? We need to stop looking so outward for our inward answers, okay? Stop looking so outward for inward answers. Shut the fuck up and listen to yourself, okay? All of them. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. Okay, remember we said I always do this. This always happens to me. This is forever. Like I'm always. We have to realize that if it's ever present, it's going to be here forever, five ever. It's ever present. It's ever there. It's ever protecting. It's ever loving. It is always inside of me. Okay. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who's led us along our path. Okay. Which is why you want to have a good community around you. You want to have a good foundation of truth. Okay? You want to ask yourself these questions. What would it feel like to be a student again? That's why you want to go out and be adventurous and experience life, do things that you haven't done before, something that's different with relocating or allowing things. Because if you do everything, you feel like you know everything. You feel like you're secure. You feel like you got it. And you don't. Once you've mastered that, move the fuck on. Do something else. Change it. So that you're not getting the same outcome over and over and over. Make it make sense. Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. If you are not committing to yourself, you have to recognize that. And I also want you to ask, what are you ready to learn? That's why you want to have a strategy before you do anything, because you have to recognize, what do I actually want to do? Okay? Let me see something. There we go. When you are in balance, you are a student of life, you are humble, and you are wise. Okay? Humble people are there enough to listen to all sides of everything. That's where it comes with empathy, where you're not taking it in. Because when you're listening to people and their issues, or you're around people and their issues, and you automatically give advice, you automatically give an answer, or anything of that sort, that's when you start taking on their issues. And it's okay to wait, pause, and reflect and see if they even want your advice. Maybe they just want to vent, and vice versa. You have to realize that is where humble comes in, is where I don't always need to speak. I don't always need to say something. I don't always need to explain myself. I don't always need to revert back, and that's not what no. I'm humble enough to understand, and I'm confident in my choice. But if somebody else comes along the way, that's why it says a student of life, I'm going to be willing to listen to it, because it may be different and it may help you in the long run. And that's where intellect turns into wisdom. Intellect is gathering knowledge, being around people that have like-mindedness, but wisdom is applying it to your life in action after you gain that knowledge, after you gain that understanding, after you're around those people, okay? Which leads to, when you are out of balance, you are know-it-all. Like I said, if you're comfortable in that situation, obviously you're going to be able to school anybody that comes. I know this. I know. Obviously you know it, but what else can you lead me to? What else can you? I'm doing this. Are you a student of life? Are you going past that? Are you just comfortable with always knowing it all? Always. In what way? There's always new skills, new techniques of doing something. Ain't nothing new under the sun, baby, but how it's done. That's it. That means there's different ways of doing the same exact thing. There's not one yoga pose. There's multiple ways of stretching your body and stretching in different positions so that it works for everybody. No matter what they look like, no matter what their shape, it works for everyone. Okay? You are egocentric. It's all about you. What you know, what you've done, what you've been through, or I got you and I can help this. And that is where it becomes possessive and needy, because you feel like you know more than someone. You feel like you understand more than someone. So you're not even willing to be expansive and grow and have that acknowledgement. Like I said, you're planting a seed and now you just keep reaping seeds because you're not watering it. You're not talking to it. You're not cultivating it and massaging. You're not doing what you need to have it grow. You're neglecting your intuition, neglecting your confidence, neglecting yourself. This momentum is ready to move, and you just keep fucking stopping it. It can't be stopped, but it's going to keep trying. That's just what it is, okay? So if you're always about you, you're going to start feeling lonely and isolated. You're a communal being. But community means that there are different people. So you cannot be so needy of possessing them and making sure that they do it how you want. Who wants more of you? You're unique. You are you. Okay? So bring it to balance. Take a class or study. Like I said, that can also be your adventure. Studying, going out there, taking a class. That's also how you can meet people in the community. I know how to cook, but if somebody popped up with a vegan class, I'm in there. Let me learn how to cook. And for now, I got YouTube and whatnot, but it's just like I'm going to, I understand I know how to cook. I know how to do that. but I don't know how to cook everything. I don't understand how to do everything. Like, there's different spices I haven't even heard of yet. So things of that sort where you're willing to study and learn in your craft and go for that. Okay? The last card that we have is the butterfly. Okay? And that is air. We only got one earth and one air. It says, undergoing great change and transformation. That's it. Like, literally, transformative ending. Okay? The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transitioning. Since air is the element of the heart, which we've been getting a lot of, it looks like a lot of us have blocked our heart off from growing and changing and receiving. We all over here like the Grinch. When you get no chest pains, you gotta rub it and talk. Okay? Sorry, okay. This usually involves relationships. Or if you love your job, it literally says in quotations, in parentheses, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. I always like to say that because that can be the honest truth for a lot of people, okay? Since transitioning is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient, okay, and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you, which you have learned it is. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, okay? Committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or prayer, okay, done at the same place and time will do wonders for lifting a butterfly spirit, okay? That feels good. So when you are in balance, you are cheerful, you are graceful. That's where the optimism comes in. That's where you're happy. That's where you're revving up that energy and you're graceful with it, okay? Doing it effortlessly. When you're out of balance, you are fragile and you are frustrated. You take everything personally. You take on everything. You get discouraged. You feel lonely. You feel pained. You feel wronged. You're all of these things. You're fragile and you're frustrated, and that causes you not to move because you're like, what is that? What are you going to do? Bitch, life's still going on. So get it together. So bring into balance a daily routine. Again, this is going to help you to commit to yourself, to recognize that I can make a change and an implement in my life where I'm doing things for the better and I'm acknowledging them for the better always and always. I'm okay with change because your daily routine changes as you change. Okay? Wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face, wash your ass. But, okay, I do that all the time, but I'm not, okay, so let's add on something different. Maybe when I get up in the morning, I stare in the mirror and I just say, I am loved, I am happy, I understand and I accept what is going on, and I'm able to control my life and the changes that are happening in it. I'm sorry, I'm able to control my life, but not the changes that are in the changes that are happening in it. Yeah, I said that right. You cannot control people, but you can guide yourself through those changes. Okay? So allow yourself that understanding. Allow yourself to, if you've been lying to yourself, to start telling the truth. Start being honest. Start being real. That is the inner center of who you are and how you're going to guide yourself. But if you're lying to yourself, they're screaming out in pain right now. They're pain. They feel wrong. You're not telling the truth to me. You're not telling the truth to nobody. We're not able to act out with our truth. We're scared. We're uncomfortable. We're taking on other people's pain to ignore our own. We are not moving. We are not shifting because if something changes and it doesn't go in the way that I wanted, I feel like I'm going to go back to what I was doing because that's not how I wanted it in the first place. What does that mean? The reason why you moved in the first place or changed, quit the job or decided to go and give yourself some time, patience, waiting, reflecting, creating a strategy, creating something that you know that you can commit to. Give yourself that mastery of realizing I'm leveling up. My mind is here. My mind is awake. My mind is is developing in a way where I can and grow and I can expand. And I'm actually going to have people around me that are growing and expanding too. And we're going to learn from each other. And we're going to use each other in a positive way of reinforcement and trusting and listening and guiding on a path of love and encouragement. Or am I just going to keep blowing off steam, start blowing up and getting rid of the water? Which is my creative flow, my creative essence. Or am I just going to allow the water just to sit there and not move? Just not move. Or am I going to use this fire, this momentum when I'm grounded and I know ain't nothing going to stop me, ain't nothing coming against me. I got this shit. I don't know about you, but I got this. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm moving. Are you going? You ain't. I gotta move. I'm sorry. And I got this reservoir of water inside of me. This nourishment, this healing, this medicine, this power. And now I want to learn more. I want to expand. And if you are in my way, I'm going to need to separate from you. I'm going to need to realize and point it like, no. Okay. So that is all that I had today. That was it. That was all. That was the resolution. Like I said, I didn't expect it to take so long, take so many, but here we are. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a lot of clicks. But I appreciate you guys. And I hope that you guys have a great day and a great week and that you got something from this reading, a better understanding, a better acknowledgement. And you're just taking it all there. Just taking it all there. Okay? Give to you. This nose ring is fuck with me. That's why I keep it. Anyways, bye.